In this video, we are going to derive the quadratic formula given by x equal to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac and then over 2a. We want to arrive to that formula by completing square on the quadratic equation, the general quadratic equation. And if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe for more videos. In the next video, I'll show you how to use this quadratic formula to solve for x given any quadratic equation. Now, remembering how to complete square, the very first step is to make sure that the coefficient of x squared is equal to 1. Now, how do we do that? We do that by dividing throughout by a. Then you are going to have divide here by a, we also divide here by a, we divide here by a, we also divide that 0 by a, so that this a and that a can cancel, and then we only have x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals to 0. You divide 0 by a, you just get 0. Now after that, what we now need to do is to move the constant c over a to the other side. You can see that our variable here is x, so c over a is a constant, so we need to move it to the other side of the equal sign. Then you are going to have x squared plus b over ax equals to minus c over a. Now after that, we now have to do the completing square here. Now completing square here, when we rewrite the quadratic expression, you can see that our b value is the number in front of x. Now in this case, our number in front of x is b over a. Now that b value by the rule, that b value should be divided by 2. And then the result that you get, you square it. Now meaning here our b value is b over a. Therefore, we are going to have x squared plus, when we take b over a and then we divide it by 2, is the same as saying b over 2a. Then we can now write here b over ax plus, that is what we are now going to, what was I writing here? This is supposed to be 2. Yes, now in our case here, that is what we are going to have. Then we add here b over 2a, we square it, equal to minus c over a. What we do this side, we should also do it the other side. Then we should also add the other side also, the same result. Now after that, here we now need to factorize. Now to factorize this, it's very easy. You only focus on the terms that have squares. So we take this x and then plus what we have inside the bracket, which is b over 2a, everything under the square, and then equal to, now this side you are going to minus c over a, plus we can now work out the square there. Then you're going to have b squared over 2 to the power 2 is 4, and then a square. Now after that, let's work what we have this side. Then this side we have x plus b over 2a square equals 2. We now have to make the denominator be the same. In doing that, what we are going to have, we multiply this c times that, then you are going to have 4a square c, and then plus this times that, we are going to have ab square over 4a. When you multiply this, you get cube. then x plus b over 2a square equals to, we can see that we have a, the common factor is now a. Then we can now write a minus 4ac plus b square, yes, over a times 4a square. This is the same as that. Now this a and that a will cancel. Then this side we have x plus b over 2a square equals to, what we now have this here, let me rewrite it in black. What we have this side is minus 4ac plus b square over 4a square. Now I want to rewrite the numerator starting with b square, positive b square minus 4ac. Then I'm going to have b square minus 4ac over 4a square. Now we can remove the square there by taking square root on both sides, also this side. Now remember that when we take square root on this side, we should have plus minus. Now when we have that, this square root and that square will cancel. Therefore we only have x plus b over 2a equal to, we have plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac. Well, if we take square root of the denominator, what we are going to have, square root of 4 is 2, square root of a square is just a. Now what we can do here, we should now move this term to go to the other side. Since we are solving for x, then you are going to have x equals 2. Now this side is positive. When it goes to the other side, it becomes negative. Then we have minus b over 2a plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac under the square root over 2a. Now we know that when we are adding or subtracting two fractions and the denominators are the same, we write the same denominator then we only subtract or add the numerators. Then we are going to have x equals to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac under the square root. The denominator is the same, so we can divide everything by 2a, and that is the quadratic formula. What we have here is what is known as the quadratic formula. You can compare it with what we have there. That is now what we call the quadratic formula. In the next video, I'll show you how to use this quadratic formula to solve for x in any given quadratic equation with a variable x.